So I was at this restaurant with this girl.
Oh, I would totally love to check that out with
Josh, we've all been exposed to a toxin. We have to find the antidote. No, we have to lock the place down and then find the antidote. No!
What are we gonna do?
We can be together now. Shh. I know the antidote.
Welcome to Vegas. Hey folks, so we are going to do a review and a little bit of a how-to for a game called Antidote by Bellwether Games. Yep, there's the box. So
Indeed.
Ages 13 plus because it deals with death. And you've got 2 to 7 players. Always recommend more players. And playtime 20 to 30 minutes. So as you can see here, it's a card game. It came with laminated cards.
It's a deduction, and I guess you could say bluffing game.
Would you call it? You called it a bluff-duction game?
A bluff-duction game, yes.
Yeah, so you take on the role of these scientists, and the laboratory has been locked down at some point.
Because some toxin.
Yeah, some toxin. There are like 8 toxins. Some toxin broke out, and all of your suits are damaged, and you have to figure out which is the toxin that is leaking and poisoning you. Make sure you take the correct antidote, otherwise you die. So that's the deduction. And bluffing is maybe you don't want everyone to live. So it's kind of competitive that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are points. You see these points on these cards, 1 and 4. If you drink the right antidote and it's got 4 on it, you get 4 points at the end of the game. Otherwise, you lose that many points. I guess it kind of works in rounds that way.
It does,
if you want to do it that
You can
way.
absolutely play multiple rounds of this game and keep track of your score from game to game, because it's possible for you to get negative points. It's possible for you to get positive points, and then it's also possible
I should hope it's possible to get positive points.
to have a lab romance.
Oh yes, they're all named after Shakespeare characters.
Oh yeah, I love
and
that
then,
fact.
it lets you get more points, or it also makes it harder to win if your lover or your bro ends up dying, unfortunately. Some
Romeo, there's Juliet in there somewhere.
You also get to steal cards from people using a syringe.
Yep.
You can run clinical trials to steal some cards. Oh gosh, what else?
You've got
the
the placebos.
placebo, that's another one.
The placebo disguises itself as one of the toxins, so if you're got a card face down, you think it's a toxin, and you steal it from someone, it turns out to be a placebo, well, now you've just not gained anything, and they get to trade a card out of their hand into their workstation.
Yeah, so even the cards that you play down, not even the words you speak to another person, the cards that you play could literally be the bluff.
Absolutely. The lab romance adds an extra level, because now not only are you trying to save yourself, you're trying to save the person to your left or your right, or you're just wanting everyone else to die, or
Make it, baby.
So yeah, we'll explain how a round of this game works, and then we'll give it our scores in our 3 different categories and see if
Ease
this
of use,
game
replay
is
value, and
overall fun. Yeah, we'll see if this game lives up to its super hype, or if it's kind of just a placebo. So this is what one round of Antidote might look like. So starting off my turn, I want to feed this guy over here some information on a card that I think is going to be the antidote. Why do I want to do that? Well, it turns out he's my lab romance. I drew this card earlier in the game.
We've been underground for a long time.
Oh yeah. And according to this card, the person to my left needs to drink the antidote in order for me to win the game. So I'm going to pass him this number 4 Osler's Oil, hoping that he'll get the hint, because 4 is the highest point value in this particular game that we're playing, because we've got 4 players. Well, us two and 2 imaginary friends. So I'm going to pass him the card and hope that he gets the hint, and then he's either going to pass me a card or I'm going to take a card from the person to my right.
Yeah, there's that card. Okay, and so what I want to do is I want to pick up this syringe, because there's the syringe. And when you play a syringe, you can steal a card from someone's hand, or you can steal a card that's face down. If it's a face down card, that usually means that it's a toxin. That is the crux of this game, finding out what the toxins are so you can narrow it down and deduce what the antidote can be. So Josh has a face down card. I want to know what that is. I don't know what that is. So I want to get that syringe. So I'm going to try and goad him into playing a syringe or somehow picking up the wrong card. I've laid down a placebo, so I'm going to put down another card. There's a toxin right there. It's red. And I'm just going to place that down. And when I do that, everyone is forced to put a card down. If it is not a toxin, then it has to be face up. So this would be something that would be face up. So if those are the red cards, they would be face up.
So on my turn, I might take this one. Oh no, it's the placebo.
Ah, you fool. So now I get to draw a card. I'll draw the syringe. And then I'm going to toss away the 2. I'm going to toss away the 2 instead of the 4 that you saw me have, because I want people to think that the 4 is valuable, even though I know it's worthless because I just put the toxin down. It's not the antidote. It doesn't matter what the point value is. That vial is poisonous.
So in the end, you're going to eventually have just one card, and that's going to be the antidote that you drink. And hopefully it's going to be the antidote to the right toxin, which turned out to be Osler's oil.
Oh, yay.
Oh man, so
I have
my
4.
love interest, my bromance, just drank the proper antidote, and I also get points because he did that. And that's what a round of Antidote might look like. Yeah.
We're going to do our 3 reviews of ease of use,
Replay value.
and overall fun.
There you go. Our first category is ease of use for Antidote, and we decided to give it an 8. The rule book is very small, it's not that large, and it's pretty easy to understand the core concepts of the game. There's not very many actions you can take, but when it comes into mastering the game, trying to memorize everything that's going on at the same time, trying to remember what toxins you have ruled out and haven't ruled out, and trying to look at everyone else and figure out, did that guy get a lab romance card? Who's his romance? Mastering the game, learning how to bluff or what questions to ask or what questions not to ask can be a little bit more difficult. But core concept for the game, everything included in a box, it's an 8.
For replay value, we gave Antidote a 4 out of 10. It's a harsh score, but hear me out. These are the things that you have to know when you're playing Antidote. What the toxins are, what the point values are for the potential antidotes, who has what bromance, even though that's not revealed to you, that's another face down card, the key card information for a person, and what antidote or what style of poison they're trying to avoid people to drinking, or trying to get them to drink if it is the antidote. You also have to deal with the placebo cards. You have to deal with the syringes. You have to deal with the clinical trials. You have to deal with what questions to ask, what questions not to ask, so as to tip people off about what you know about the antidote or don't know about the antidote. And the problem with this is it goes on for about 8-9 rounds, but not until the last third of the game, when enough information is down and you can see who knows what. You can literally see what they know because of what they have put down in front of them. Because, oh my goodness, now I'm getting excited. Now, after 19 minutes of playing this game, I'm getting excited because we're about to hit that point where people are going to start making guesses about what the antidote is, and we're going to start hammering home these relationships, and I'm going to start really listening to that. The first 19 minutes was just sort of, oh, okay, I'm just going to put down this card because, I don't know, it's worth 1 point, and I don't know if red is the poison or not, but I don't want to throw away the 4-point red. And that's the problem that gives this such a low replay value, is it takes too long to get good. It does get good. It does get very enjoyable. But I don't know if cutting the game in half or taking out different antidotes or different toxins would actually help it speed it up. But I don't know if that would actually increase the replay value. But as it stands in the box, full game, 4 out of 10.
For overall fun, we've also got to give Antidote a 4 out of 10. It's kind of a harsh score. This game, I can safely say that I don't hate it. But with all the other bluffing and deduction games out there, I can safely say that if they were all sitting on a shelf, I wouldn't choose Antidote over any of the other ones that I've played. And I can't quite figure out what this game's missing. Maybe it's not missing anything, but I can say that you've got all this information you're trying to keep track of. And as the game withers down, you're kind of waiting and waiting and, oh, well, you know, you take a card from someone else and, oh, look, it's something I already knew. And then when it gets down to like the last 3 or 4 cards in your hand, then you're like, it's getting down to the wire. Like, I'm still not sure what the antidote is. I'm getting nervous. Palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. And so like the last 5 minutes of the game is kind of fun because you've got that risk, you've got that time limit. But then you've got games like Coup, which can go even faster. You can see our speed video of Coup Rebellion G54, where you've got these hidden identities. And maybe that's what it is that other bluffing games, other deduction games are generally hidden identities or hidden agendas as opposed to 7 different toxins and you've got to figure out which one is the one you inhaled. Maybe that's the only thing this game is missing, is that it's trying to do too much at once. And that's why we give it a 4 out of 10.
That was our review for Antidote by Bellwether Games. Keep an eye out for their expansion. We're going to do a Kickstarter preview for Lab Alliance, and that's coming out March 2017. So very soon, that video will be up.
Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed our video. And if you disagree or agree with our review, go ahead and leave a comment below. And also don't forget to check out the links at the end of this video. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.